Hello, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to talk about The Art of the Pendulum by Cassandra Eason. This book is all about pendulums. And to give you a visual, this is what a pendulum could be. Essentially, a weighted object, like a crystal, that is attached to a string or chain. So this is kind of like a guidebook, a how-to, a manual, an instruction manual regarding how to use a pendulum. It goes over the basics, what is dowsing, how you should hold your pendulum, how you should select a pendulum. It gives a bit about the history of dowsing as well, and reasons why you should. So you could use your pendulum to do something like find a ghost. It gives you steps to do that. You could look for a lost animal. You can look for something like lost keys. So she gives you the steps about how this can work. For example, if you know your keys are in your home, but you can't find them, you could just draw a quick diagram of your house and hold your pendulum over that diagram and kind of wait for a pull or a yes circle or like a no circle, so whatever it is. So you could ask your pendulum, like, what is your yes? And it will do, okay, so this is a clockwise circle, all right, and then what is your no? And it'll do like a counterclockwise circle. For others, it might be like an up-down motion for yes, side to side for no. You just ask the pendulum. And so in addition to that, you could even neutralize the energy of the space that you're in. You can heal yourself or others with by clearing out your energy centers, your chakras, your aura, things like that. So there are quite a few reasons why you could use your pendulum. And just to show you, she provides a lot of steps. Most of this are steps regarding how you can use the pendulum. So you can see these stars are basically like her bullet points on how to do something. She also provides a lot of helpful diagrams to give you visual and kind of like kickstart some ideas on how you could use the pendulum. So there is on page 31 a flow chart of like yes, no, ask again kind of questions that could help you resolve an issue that you may be going through or find a solution to some problem that you have. You could write down a number chart. You can attribute some kind of value to those numbers. So if you have perhaps started a new job, number 1 can be associated with a week. Number 2 would be 2 weeks, right? How long will you feel until you feel comfortable there? That could be your question, right? She provides this direction finder. So I used to think that pendulums were only good for like yes/no questions, but there's a ton of stuff that you can do, and she provides the reader with many examples. So it's a very good guidebook. And she's also speaking from her own experience. It's nice to see that she mentioned something that she was not able to do, which was win the lottery. And she kind of jokes about it, saying if you were able to do that, so just let her know. And I also find it interesting that she acknowledges that it's unclear what is behind the pull. When you're holding your pendulum, you will feel this pull. And the energy could just be coming from you, but it's unclear. Yep. So there's a lot of good information in here. There is an interesting story that I will read real quick. On page 15, an example of how the U.S. government found someone to be a security risk because they were able to use their pendulum. Vernon Cameron The U.S. government marked him as a security risk. And it goes on to say, his crime was that in 1959, Cameron successfully located on a map every submarine in the U.S. Navy plus every Russian submarine in the world using his pendulum. So if he's able to do that, that's an issue for security. That makes sense. And that's a part of the history of dowsing. So most of the book is a guidebook. There's definitely some history. It's very interesting. It's a short book, only 126 pages, but it's filled with a lot of ways to use the pendulum. Gives you a lot of ideas. So let me know if you have ideas that are not in the book, or if this works for you at all, if it does or doesn't, and what your thoughts are about this. So I highly recommend going out and getting this. You can find it in your metaphysical shop or online. It's $15. So I highly recommend it.